Vance, can we talk for a second? This is about tomorrow's wedding. Just in case, can you take a look at the guest list to make sure everyone is on it? I made sure to check it over a ton, but just for my mind's sake.
So it's already that time? Sure, I'll take a look at it. I'd hate for there to be someone missing from the list, because that would just lead to chaos.
Thank you, Vance.
Ella, where's your dad's seat? It's marked as blank. He couldn't make it to the last meeting because of work, right? I've been looking forward to meeting him.
Huh? Oh, like I said before, my father isn't around anymore. It's just my mom now.
What? Just your mom? Well, that means you're from a single-parent household. You lied to me.
Lied? What are you talking about? I didn't lie to you. What's gotten into you?
My family is full of Ivy League graduates, and we even own our own company. Do you know the kind of prejudice people have against kids from single-parent homes? You should have told me sooner.
I did tell you.
No, you didn't. Or maybe being from a single-parent household means your memory isn't that great. Whatever, as long as your mom's got a decent education, we can make this work. What college did she go to? Maybe I can spin this somehow.
Oh, you really weren't paying attention, were you? My mom didn't go to college. She didn't even finish high school. I told you this before when we first met.
What? Didn't finish high school? And you're kidding me, right? That's impossible. People like that don't exist.
What do you mean, don't exist?
If your mom didn't even graduate high school, then she must have some kind of mental issues. You're the daughter of a low IQ maniac, and you lied to me. You're a fraud.
What the hell? Calling my mother a maniac? There are things you can say and things you shouldn't say. Right now, you are way out of line. And fraud? Lying to you? I don't even know what you're talking about. I haven't done anything like that.
Oh, yeah, right. I bet you were laughing behind my back thinking you were so clever. Fooling an elite family into marrying you. This is all just a game to you, isn't it?
Enough. You're the one who's acting crazy right now. Vance, where are you? It's already time for the wedding. Not only that, but none of the guests from the groom's side are here either. What is going on?
You tricked me, so I'm just giving you the punishment you deserve.
What?
Who would marry someone from a bottom-tier single-parent family like yours? The wedding's off, canceled. Thank goodness I figured it out just in time. That's what makes me a true elite.
What are you even saying? This is a joke, right? We cared about each other. You told me we'd be happy together. Was that all a lie?
Who'd love a piece of trash like you who tricked me? Listen, having a mom who's a middle school dropout would disgrace my elite family. I'm calling the whole thing off. Oh, and you can handle the $60,000 for today's wedding costs.
Then the funding from my company to yours is canceled as well.
What?
Ella, have you calmed down a little? I spoke to the guests and explained the situation. You don't need to worry about them for now. Just rest for a while, okay? I'm so sorry, Mom. I should have been the one to handle all of that. It wasn't your job to deal with. Oh, there's nothing to apologize for. You were clearly devastated, and I know you didn't want anyone to see you like that, right? Yeah, I'm a grown woman, but I couldn't stop crying. I feel like I've caused you nothing but trouble today. Oh, don't be ridiculous. You didn't cause me any trouble, not in the slightest. In fact, if anyone should be apologizing, it's me. What? Why would you apologize? I'm sorry, Ella. I never should have let you meet a man like that. I didn't realize he was such a scumbag. And it sounds like it all came down to my education, didn't it? If I had a better academic background, maybe he wouldn't have judged you so harshly. maybe you wouldn't have had to face that kind of prejudice. Stop it, Mom. Don't talk like that. You couldn't go to school because the family was poor. That's not your fault. And you're the one who always told me it doesn't matter what kind of education you have, that we can still make it through tough times. Ella, after Dad passed, you were the one who kept his company afloat. Things are more stable now thanks to the people Dad mentored before he passed taking over, but I still remember how hard those years were. You even collapsed from the stress at one point, remember? Oh, yes, that feels like such a long time ago. I guess that did happen, didn't it? Mom, you put in so much effort, more than anyone. And for that man to call you low class or look down on you, it makes me sick. I wasn't crying because he left me. I'm crying because I can't believe I ever said I loved someone like him. I'm crying because I feel so ashamed and angry. What hurts the most is how he insulted you. I can't stand that. Ella, oh, thank you. I'm so proud of the kind and strong woman you've become. I'm lucky to have you as my daughter. But Mom, I'm not strong. I'm so sorry. I don't want to let you down, but I think I'm going to break everything you've worked so hard to protect. I want revenge on him. I can't move forward until I do something. I can't let this go. Oh, Ella, you know I've always told you the same thing. We'll figure it out. That's how we've managed so far, right? And we always do figure it out, no matter what. So don't worry about me. If revenge is what you need to do, then do it. Do whatever you need to find peace in your heart.
Hey! Pick up the damn phone already! Ignoring someone like me, this is exactly why low-class families are so troublesome.
What do you want? I don't have anything to say to you.
Oh, you should be happy. If you really insist, I might just be generous enough to marry you.
Is that how someone asks another person to marry them? You really don't know how to stop looking down on people, do you?
What? I'm saying I'm willing to stoop down and marry you. It's not looking down on you, it's just the proper attitude. I'm doing you a favor here.
I'm amazed. You're just trying to suck up to me because your family's company lost its funding and now you need me, right? You're not fooling anyone.
I'm not sucking up to you. Who the hell would suck up to some low-class girl raised by a high school dropout? I didn't know you were that close with the company providing the funding for my family. If I'd known that, I'd have married you right from the start.
Wow. Honestly, I feel embarrassed for myself. I used to think you were just a guy who wanted to take the lead, who had some sense of pride. But now, you're nothing but a self-centered, arrogant man. Who would ever want to marry someone who only sees value in appearance or status? I'm actually relieved I didn't marry you.
What did you just say? You're rejecting me when I'm offering to marry you?
Yes, I am absolutely rejecting you. You see, I thought about marriage because I wanted to make my mother feel at ease. I wanted to make her happy, but then you insulted her. I'll never forgive you for that, and trust me, you'll regret the day you disrespected my mother.
Hey, have you cooled your head yet? Yesterday was just you getting all worked up, so let me say it again. Marry me!
No matter how many times you say it, it's pointless. I'm not marrying you. Are you just bored?
I'm not bored. You're too stupid to understand how lucky you are right now.
Huh?
Listen, someone like you, raised by a single parent with a middle school education, is completely unworthy of me, an elite with a high-level education. I'm offering to lower myself and marry you, so what's your problem? It's like I have to spell it out for you, but low-education people like you just can't grasp the value of this.
Do you really think I'd be seen as a fool for marrying someone who talks to me like this? If that's the case, then I'm really being looked down upon here.
Stop being so stubborn and just marry me. It would solve everything.
You think it would solve everything? You're just thinking about yourself. Fine, I'll show you how to be humble and teach you your place so you can't act all high and mighty.
Ella, help me out here just for one day. Can you let me stay at your house? You remember how we used to be, right? We were practically like siblings.
Oh, Vance, you got kicked out of your house, didn't you? And now you want to crash at the place of the woman you threw away? Don't you have any pride left?
What? How do you know about that?
I asked your parents for a favor. They've been pretty rough on you, haven't they? I thought it might be a good idea for them to reconsider their approach to parenting. After all, you were bragging about how elite your family is, and yet here you are, tossed out like yesterday's trash. How does that feel?
Why would my parents listen to someone with a low education like you?
Well, you see, your company, though let's be real, it's actually your parents' company, was trying to secure a loan from a company that originally belonged to my father.
Your father's company? Well, wait a minute, there was no one with your last name involved in that.
That's because someone else has taken over now. It was just my father's company before. But my mother still holds considerable influence, the woman you looked down upon because she's not educated. She's actually the one who was trying to save your company, and yet you had the audacity to act tough with me.
Why would you even consider helping me after everything?
I thought it was only fair, so I made sure to inform your parents about your situation. I told them that their son was putting the company at risk and asked them how long they planned to keep shielding you. They were quite shaken by it, I must say. I felt a bit sorry for them.
You're kidding! You have that much influence?
Didn't you have a nice little throne at your parents' company? I do what I must with whatever resources I have at my disposal. Even if it means leveraging my title as the former president's daughter. But don't worry, I don't want unrelated employees to be left in the lurch either. I've already made arrangements to ensure that people who wish to work at my father's company, except for your family, can be hired.
Why? If you have that much influence, why did you keep it quiet from me until now? Did you secretly despise me while pretending to love me?
No, it's not like I looked down on you.
You tricked me. You played with my heart like I was some kind of toy, you wicked woman.
What is wrong with you? Calling me derogatory names like lowlife and wicked woman? You seem to have a lot of vocabulary to belittle others, don't you?
What do you mean?
Seriously, Vance, you can't even see it, can you? You're wrapped up in your own little world, blinded by your privilege. It's honestly quite sad. You think being educated or coming from an elite family makes you superior? Look at where that attitude has gotten you, kicked out and begging for help. How does that feel?
Shut up! You don't know anything about me. I worked hard for everything I had.
Did you? Or did your parents pave the way for you as they always have? You think your success is a reflection of your hard work? That's just naive. The truth is many people work hard every day and don't get the same opportunities. Yet here you are using your privileged background as an excuse to look down on others.
Why are you doing this? Why can't you just show a little compassion? I'm in a tough spot.
Compassion? You think I owe you compassion? You never showed any kindness to me, remember? You were always so high and mighty, treating me like I was nothing. Now you want pity?
Things were different back then. I was young and stupid.
And now? What are you? You've grown into someone who can't even take responsibility for his actions. You're still trying to manipulate me just like before.
I'm not manipulating anyone. I'm just asking for help. Can't you see that?
Help? Is that what you call this? Throwing yourself at my feet after you've treated me like dirt? You think I'd just forget everything because you're in trouble? It doesn't work like that, Vance.
I didn't think you would be so cold. I thought you cared about me.
Care? It's hard to care when you've shown me time and time again that I don't matter to you. You've only ever come around when it's convenient for you. It's like you don't even see me as a person.
You're wrong. I never meant to hurt you.
Intention doesn't matter when the damage is done. You have to face the consequences of your actions, Vance. I won't be your safety net anymore.
Then what am I supposed to do? Just wander around homeless? You can't just leave me like this.
Maybe this will teach you a lesson. You need to learn that you can't always rely on others. Sometimes you have to stand on your own 2 feet and figure things out for yourself.
Ella, I just wanted things to go back to the way they were.
Things will never go back, Vance. You need to understand that. Hey, Vance, can you just give it a rest already? I'm getting really annoyed with you storming into my office and lying in wait outside my house.
It's your fault for avoiding me.
I mean, look at how desperately I'm trying to see you. You're the one who's avoiding me, and that's just wrong.
Are you seriously having fun ignoring my feelings? How can you just trample all over my love like it's nothing and still act so composed about it?
No, I'm not composed at all.
Huh?
You scream in the lobby of my office for me to come out when I arrive for work, and you suddenly pop out from behind a telephone pole when I come home at night. Not to mention the barrage of phone calls you've been making to my parents' house. With all of this going on, I can't maintain my calm.
Well then, so does that mean you finally want to see me?
What? Are you an idiot? I filed a report for stalking because I can't remain calm with all this going on.
What?
Of course I did. What you're doing is a clear crime. Oh, and by the way, the annulment of our engagement was something you did unilaterally. So I'm going to claim damages for the emotional distress I've suffered, and I expect you to pay up.
What? Why do I have to pay? If anything, I'm the one who's suffered emotional pain.
Huh? What are you even talking about?
Because it's true! You pretended to be someone you weren't and came on to me, tricking me into believing your lies. How can someone who's been such a villain act like a victim now?
Look, since we're already in this conversation, let me just say this. Neither my mother nor I ever had any intention of helping your parents' company.
What do you mean by that?
The loan discussions and the attempts to help were all my father's wishes. You might have thought that my father wasn't around because of a divorce, but my father actually passed away from cancer. It was written in his will that if anything were to happen to his best friend's company, he wanted someone to step in and help.
Your father was...
My father and your father were friends who started their businesses separately but supported each other along the way. So the desire to provide the loan was my father's decision, and neither my mother nor I were necessarily eager about it.
But the company belonged to your father, right? So it was only proper to fulfill his will and provide the loan. How could you trample over his last wishes like that? That's just the worst.
At the very least, my mother had the authority to stop the loan.
Huh?
It's true that my mother only finished middle school and has worked in my father's company since then. She helped my father with his work and understood the financial situation. After my father passed away, she was the only one who could temporarily run the company. You could say that the company exists today because of her.
Wait a minute, a middle school dropout managing a company? That's impossible!
It's not about whether it's possible or not. She actually did it, and she had a daughter in elementary school at that. While juggling housework and raising a child, she worked and even collapsed from overexertion at one point. But she pulled through. She managed to keep the company going until she could hand it over to the talented people my father had trained. That's why she has a say in the company's operational policies.
Such a thing could never happen. But still, if she didn't finish school, she probably couldn't find work after that, right? So doesn't that mean she was unemployed? How can an unemployed person act so high and mighty?
My mother has also been managing assets alongside everything else. Thanks to that, she's earned a substantial profit and is reasonably well off.
What? A middle school dropout managing assets?
You keep bringing up that she's a middle school dropout like it's a badge of shame, but there are many people in this world who have achieved great things despite having low education. Maybe it's time you learned a little more about society?
But I've never seen anyone like that around me!
If you keep looking down on middle school dropouts, talented people will steer clear of you. My mother is talented, but she's not a greedy person. The asset management was not for her own benefit. She prepared it in case she couldn't manage the company well. She's always thinking about the company. You seem to think my mother decided to stop the loan on a whim, but that loan was not from company funds. My mother was planning to lend her personal assets to the company to fulfill the loan, all to maintain my father's dignity.
Wait, what? If that's the case, then there's no reason to cause such a ruckus!
Huh?
In the end, the assets from a lucky stock investment by a middle school dropout are probably not that impressive. Even if you say you want a loan, how meaningful can it be?
Managing assets over $1 million is not something that usually goes well, and for a loan, I think it's quite significant.
Wait, $100 million?
Like I said before, don't equate being a middle school dropout with being stupid. My mother has always been good with numbers, and she studied stocks while working. She's incredibly intelligent. It's just that she had to work because our family was poor. Listen, self-proclaimed elite, you need to realize that your situation is worse than you think.
No way. I can't believe this. How could I lose to a middle school dropout? There's no way I'm buying into that.
The fact that you're focusing on winning or losing means you've already missed the point. But fine, you don't have to believe it. Reality won't change. You are the stupid son of a stalker who drove your parents' company into the ground and got kicked out of your house. Hello, is this Vance's contact information? Oh, this is Martha, Ella's mother. I apologize for the sudden message and for any surprise it may have caused you. I wanted to inform you that we are officially canceling the loan we discussed previously. Although I technically do not need to report this to you, I felt it necessary for you to understand that this outcome is a direct result of your actions. That's why I decided to reach out to you.
What? So it's the lying old hag. Your daughter is nothing but a liar from the bottom of society. Thanks to her, I've been tossed around like a rag doll.
Liar? What are you talking about exactly?
Oh, don't play dumb with me. You're only lending money because of the lucky windfall from some stocks. You're trying to act like you're doing me a favor.
Oh, the matter, is it? Well, yes, it's true that the amount of money can vary based on individual perspectives on value, so it may not be accurate to label it as a large sum in an absolute sense.
See, you're just proving my point. If you need money, you can easily borrow from a bank. You don't need to rely on a middle school dropout. My dad and the others would surely agree with me.
Do you really think the loan was solely about the money?
Huh?
I know many people at your company's trading partners. I've used all my connections, and I've informed all of them about the entire chain of communication surrounding your company. As a result, your company is going to face some serious difficulties moving forward.
What? If that happens, we'll lose our trading partners.
Indeed, that's what will happen. Once that takes place, no matter how much money you might have, your company won't be able to survive. Right now, you're being kicked out of your home and are forced to sleep at the company, correct? If things keep going like this, you'll end up truly homeless. It would be wise for you to secure housing as soon as possible.
No, you can't do this. Do you think this is a game? You're ruining my life.
I understand that you're upset, but you must also understand the position you've put yourself in. Your actions have consequences, and this is just a natural outcome of those actions. I'm not doing this to be cruel. I'm simply responding to the situation at hand.
You think you can just cut me off like that? I deserve better. You're taking everything from me.
Better? What you deserve is to face the reality of your actions. You have been reckless, and now you're facing the repercussions. I didn't come to this decision lightly. It's not something I wanted to do, but your daughter has been dishonest, and that's something I cannot overlook.
Ella was just trying to help. She never meant for things to turn out this way.
Help? Is that what you call it? Trying to manipulate the situation to get what you want? If you truly cared for her, you'd encourage her to be honest and to face the truth. You wouldn't let her hide behind lies, which only leads to more trouble in the long run.
You don't understand anything. You're just a bitter old woman trying to take everything from me.
Perhaps it's you who doesn't understand. I'm not trying to take anything away from you. I'm merely trying to protect my daughter from the fallout of your reckless behavior. The world isn't fair, and it doesn't care about your feelings or your desires. You need to accept that.
I refuse to accept this. I will find a way to turn this around. You can't keep me down.
You're certainly free to try, but just know that the path you've chosen is a dangerous one. If you keep going down this route, it will only lead to further isolation and loss. Instead of lashing out at me or Ella, perhaps you should take a moment to reflect on your choices and how they brought you here.
You think I'm the problem? You're the one ruining everything. If you hadn't interfered, things would have been different.
It's not about blame, it's about accountability. You need to own up to your mistakes. Life is not a series of excuses and blaming others for your situation. If you want to rise above this, you must first acknowledge where you went wrong.
You're heartless. You have no idea what I've sacrificed.
And yet those sacrifices haven't led you to a better path, have they? Instead, they've led to a web of deceit and chaos. The sooner you can accept that, the sooner you can start to rebuild. But it will take genuine effort and a commitment to change.
I don't need this lecture from you.
Then perhaps you should take a moment to consider that advice, because it might just be the wake-up call you need. Life can change quickly, and it can be unforgiving. Don't let pride or anger dictate your actions. You still have a chance to turn things around if you're willing to put in the work.
Please, I'm begging you, let's resume the business dealings. The phones at the company won't stop ringing, and everyone is saying they're gonna cut ties. If this keeps up, the company will really go under, and I'll be left with nothing.
Oh dear, you seem to be quite flustered. Where is all of that bravado gone? But I suppose this is to be expected. When your own parents start talking about claiming damages and cutting ties, must be quite a shock.
You understand, so please do something about it. This is all you're doing, isn't it?
Yes, it is, but let's be honest, you brought this upon yourself, didn't you? When weighing the importance of your company against your own personal worth, it seems that you weren't considered heavily enough to matter. Despite attending a good university, you don't even understand the value of securing a loan. It's a rather sad state of intelligence, really. I can't help but feel pity for you.
Please, I'll even grovel. Once the company settles down, I'll pay compensation, and I swear I won't ever see you again. Just help me out, please.
It's too late for you to start begging now. My daughter rarely cries. She's a strong-willed child. The only time I've seen her cry was after losing her father. That child was crying because of you after being betrayed. She pretended to be strong, but she loved you deeply. She truly cared for you. To have been betrayed by someone she loved from the bottom of her heart left her with deep scars. Don't ever think that someone who has hurt my daughter will find happiness in the future.
What? So what am I supposed to do now?
You should crawl on the ground, suffering while you live. If you let the man who hurt my daughter go free, it would tarnish my family's honor.
Wait, you can't just abandon me like this. I'm telling you, it's not just about me. There are other people involved. You can't ruin everything over this.
Your desperation is evident, but the reality is that you've already caused a lot of damage. Your choices have led to this situation, and it's up to you to face the consequences. I understand you may feel like everything is falling apart around you, but you need to recognize the pain you've caused to others, especially to Ella.
But she was the one who was there for me. We had something real, and now it feels like it's all gone. I didn't mean to hurt her.
That's what everyone says, isn't it? But intentions don't erase the outcome. The fact is that your actions have consequences. And Ella's feelings can't simply be brushed aside because you feel remorse now. You made a choice, and now you have to deal with what follows. It's part of being an adult.
I can't take this anymore. You have to understand that I'm scared. The business is everything I have.
Your fear is valid, but understand that fear doesn't excuse betrayal. My daughter put her trust in you, and you shattered that trust. It's not just about your company, it's about the emotional turmoil you've caused her. You've taken her love and tossed it aside without a second thought. You need to recognize the weight of that.
What do you expect me to do? I can't just sit here and watch everything I've built fall apart.
That's the reality of the situation, Vance. You're facing a storm you've created. You can't escape the consequences of your actions, and running from it will only lead to more pain. If you truly want to make amends, you need to show that you can change and that you're capable of learning from this experience.
You think I could just change overnight? It's not that easy.
Change takes time, and it requires sincere effort. You need to start by acknowledging what you've done, both to my daughter and to the situation at hand. Until you do that, you'll remain stuck in this cycle of regret and fear.
What if I genuinely want to make things right? Will you consider helping me then?
Your desire to make things right is a start, but words mean little without action. You have to show me, and more importantly, show my daughter that you're committed to change. She deserves that much after everything she's been through.
I'll do whatever it takes. Just give me a chance to prove it to you.
Then you need to start providing it right away. Actions speak louder than words, and you must take every opportunity to show that you can be better. If you truly love her, you'll fight for her trust back. Until then, don't expect any favors from me. Mom, I just checked, and the payment for the compensation has been completed. It's finally over. Oh, good job, Ella. You've worked really hard on this. You know, that guy, he's been kicked out of his parents' house, lost his job, and now he's living alone in a cheap apartment. He acted all high and mighty, calling himself an elite, but in reality, he turned out to just be a worthless loser. He brought this all upon himself. Indeed, arrogance that exceeds one's own worth will ultimately lead to one's downfall. But if it weren't for you, I don't think my revenge would have gone this well. Thank you so much, Mom. Plus, you ended up securing the company's loan and even developed a new business relationship after he was gone, didn't you? I mean, you're truly amazing, Mom. You're just so incredible as a person, I can't even put it into words. Oh, there's nothing to praise me for, really. I simply returned the favor that was given to me. Huh? Actually, I know his father. You remember how I collapsed a few times, right? I realized that I couldn't keep collapsing like that, so I received various forms of help from him. Wait, really? Yes, he was capable in his work and a family-oriented, good person. That's why I introduced his son as a potential marriage partner for you. You mentioned that you were having trouble meeting someone, so I thought I could help. But look how things turned out. I'm truly sorry for that. Mom, you have nothing to apologize for. Besides, even with your introduction, you can't force someone to fall in love. This whole situation stemmed from my inability to judge people well. I just wanted to be someone who loves and is loved, like you and Dad. I'm so tired of being betrayed. What are you saying? You are my precious daughter, raised with love, so you need to have confidence in yourself. You really are strong, Mom, but I've got your blood running through my veins. I have to be confident, too. The wedding was a disaster, but next time I want to be able to cry tears of joy. I'm going to grow more and find a better person. I'm looking forward to it. You know, this whole experience has taught me a lot. I thought I was in love, but it turns out I was just infatuated with the idea of love. It's funny how I can now see all the red flags I ignored back then. It's important to learn from experiences, even the painful ones. Sometimes we get so caught up in what we want that we forget to look at what we need. Exactly. I was blinded by my feelings and didn't take the time to see the reality of the situation. It's like I had those rose-colored glasses on, thinking everything was perfect when it really wasn't. You know, love can sometimes make us blind to the truth. It's easy to get lost in emotions and ignore the signs that something isn't right. But now that you've experienced this, you're more equipped to recognize what a healthy relationship looks like. I guess I had to go through this to understand that. It's just unfortunate that it had to happen this way. I can't help but feel a bit embarrassed for how naive I was. Oh, don't be embarrassed. Everyone goes through moments like that. It's part of growing up. The important thing is that you've learned from it and can move forward. You're right. I'm definitely going to take this as a lesson. Next time I'll be more cautious and pay attention to how someone treats me. I won't let myself get swept away by charm or good looks alone. That's the spirit. Being cautious doesn't mean shutting yourself off from love. It means being smarter about it. You deserve someone who respects you and makes you feel valued. I want to find someone who can see me for who I am, someone who can appreciate the real me. I don't want to settle for anything less. Exactly, and remember, you don't have to rush into anything. Love takes time, and the right person will come along when you're ready. Just focus on yourself and your growth for now. Thanks, Mom. You always know how to lift my spirits. I'm lucky to have you as my mom and as a guide through life. Oh, sweetheart, you don't have to thank me. I'll always be here for you, cheering you on and supporting you through whatever comes your way. You're my daughter, and I'm proud of you. I'll keep that in mind. I'm ready to take on whatever comes next, and I won't let past failures hold me back. I'll learn, grow, and eventually find my happiness. That's my girl. I believe in you. Vance was carrying a heavy burden of debt, living in a run-down, cheap apartment. The weight of this life became unbearable for him, and he reached a desperate point where he turned to burglary, believing that it might offer him a quick solution to his financial problems. Unfortunately for him, he was caught in the act and ended up facing the consequences of his poor decisions. After being sentenced to prison, Vance found himself utterly alone. Not a single person came to visit him during his time behind bars, leaving him to navigate the solitude and anguish of his situation in silence. Each day blurred into the next, and he realized that once he returned to the outside world, all he would have left was the heavy load of debt that had initially pushed him to crime. The rumors of his actions began to spread like wildfire around his hometown, and as a result, he found it nearly impossible to secure employment upon his release. Many potential employers were unwilling to take a chance on someone with a criminal record, and the stigma surrounding his actions loomed over him like a dark cloud, making it exceedingly difficult to escape from his past. He felt completely trapped, caught in a cycle of despair with no means to extricate himself from his predicament. Without any savings to afford a fresh start or even basic costs associated with moving, he wandered through life feeling utterly lost and defeated, unsure of what steps he should take next to regain some semblance of stability. On the other hand, I was living a much different life. My mother and I had managed to rebuild our lives after the chaos that had ensued because of Vance. We were content, enjoying the peaceful rhythm of our daily existence, and I finally felt a sense of calm that had eluded me for such a long time. Recently, I had met someone new, and the prospect of building a relationship filled me with both excitement and uncertainty. As I explored these feelings, I found myself in deep contemplation about how to approach this potential romance. I wanted to reassure my mother, who had always been my pillar of strength and support, but I also knew that I had to be careful and not rush into things. I wanted to take my time to truly get to know this person and ensure that my past experiences wouldn't cloud my judgment. When I thought back to my relationship with Vance, I understood the importance of proceeding with caution. I had rushed into that relationship without fully understanding who he was, and it had ultimately led to a lot of heartache. This time I was determined to do things differently and to ensure that I was building a connection based on mutual respect and understanding. I spent considerable time getting to know this new person, making sure that I wasn't just infatuated with the idea of love. It was crucial for me to assess whether this relationship had the potential for a healthy and meaningful bond. I wanted to be sure that I was not just filling a void, but rather cultivating a connection that would enrich both our lives. My mother, being the observant woman that she is, noticed my newfound happiness and the time I was spending with this person. One evening, we sat around the dinner table sharing a meal. She looked at me with curiosity and asked, "So, how's everything going with that new guy you've been seeing?" I felt a warm smile spread across my face as I replied, "It's going well, Mom. We've been taking our time and getting to know each other better." Her expression shifted to one of understanding and she nodded. "That's good to hear. Remember, it's important to take your time and ensure that he's the right person for you." "Yeah, I know," I replied, appreciating her wisdom and support. "I really want to make sure I'm not rushing into anything too quickly." As I continued to talk to her about my feelings and experiences, I couldn't help but feel grateful for the solid foundation she had given me throughout my life. She had instilled in me the values of patience, self-respect, and the importance of fostering genuine connections with others. I wanted to make her proud and assure her that I had learned from my past mistakes. It was during our conversations that I began to realize just how much I had grown as a person. The pain of my past experiences with Vance had imparted valuable lessons that I would not trade for anything. I had come to understand that relationships should be built on trust, mutual respect, and open communication. As the days went by, I continued to explore my feelings for this new person, allowing myself to be vulnerable yet cautious. I was committed to being true to myself and learning from the mistakes I had made in the past. With each interaction, I felt more confident in my decisions, slowly shedding the insecurities that had once held me back. Meanwhile, I occasionally thought about Vance, who was now facing the consequences of his choices. While I was finding joy and fulfillment in everyday moments with my mother, he was struggling in a prison of his own making. I wished for him to find a way to redeem himself someday, to learn from the mistakes he's made, but ultimately that journey was his alone to navigate. The new guy I was seeing was remarkably different from Vance in many ways. He was kind, respectful, and genuinely interested in getting to know me as a person. He would ask thoughtful questions about my interests, dreams, and aspirations, and I found comfort in the way he treated me. It was refreshing to engage in conversations where I felt truly seen and heard. I made a conscious effort to keep the pace slow, allowing feelings to develop naturally without rushing into anything. I understood the importance of building a solid foundation, and I was determined to create a healthy relationship this time around. My heart was open, but I wanted to ensure I was not blinded by the thrill of a new romance. One evening, I shared my feelings about this new relationship with my mother, expressing my hopes for the future. "I just want someone who truly understands me, Someone I can trust completely," I said, looking into her eyes for encouragement. She smiled warmly, reaching out to squeeze my hand reassuringly. "You will, sweetheart. Just keep being true to yourself and the right person will come along. Trust your instincts." Her words resonated with me deeply, serving as a gentle reminder to remain grounded in my values and beliefs. I was determined not to settle for anything less than what I deserved, a relationship based on honesty, respect, and love. As I continued to develop this connection, I found myself growing more confident in my decisions. I was learning to navigate my feelings while keeping the lessons of my past experiences close to heart. With each passing day, I felt more at peace with my choices, ready to embrace whatever came next. Life was moving forward, and I was grateful for the love and support that surrounded me. The contrast between my situation and Vance's only strengthened my resolve to seek out a life filled with positivity and genuine connections. I had come to appreciate the importance of self-love and the necessity of surrounding myself with people who uplift and inspire me. I knew that I had the power to shape my future, and I was committed to doing so with grace and strength. While the memories of my past experiences with Vance lingered, I was determined to not let them define me. I was ready to embrace the love that awaited me, confident that I was on the right path.
Flora, you're older than me, and yet you're still not married. It's quite something, isn't it? I mean, at your age, isn't it starting to get a bit concerning?
Goldie, what do you mean by that? I'm not exactly rushing into marriage or anything. It's not like it's something to be worried about.
Come on, you're at that age now. Do you really not understand? My husband is the eldest son, and there's a lot of pressure on me because of that, You have to think about these things too. It really matters.
Well, I don't feel pressured at all. My parents don't have those old-fashioned expectations. Sure, there might be some excitement since I'm the first grandchild, but it's not something you need to worry about too much. It's not like anyone's putting pressure on you about it.
Oh, I definitely feel it, even if you don't say anything. I mean, I'm the one who came into this family, right? And I'm the first grandchild, while my husband has 2 older sisters who aren't married yet. That's a bit unexpected for me, too.
I understand, but marriage is such a personal matter. Even though I'm your sister-in-law, it's not really something you should be discussing with me.
So, are your parents okay with that? What if my children ended up being the only grandchildren?
Well, I can't completely rule that possibility out, but really, it's not something you need to worry so much about.
No, I'm definitely going to be worried about it. Because once the baby I'm carrying is born, there's a good chance they'll expect me to have another one right after, right? That's honestly too much for me to handle.
It's going to be fine. If that happens, we can talk about it then.
But come on, this is the first grandchild. There's going to be a celebration for the birth, isn't there? After all, since I got pregnant, our expenses have skyrocketed, and after the birth, it's going to cost even more money. So, yes, I am absolutely expecting a big celebration.
Wait, are you seriously saying that? I mean, I understand that pregnancy and childbirth cost money, but
especially since I'm having a boy. If I don't get a lavish celebration, I might just lose it. I'm risking my life to bring this baby into the world. And to be honest, I didn't even want kids in the first place, but since your brother wanted children, here we are.
I get that, but
well, I know that my in-laws don't seem to have a lot of money, so it's probably going to be difficult to expect much from them. Still, please don't send anything useless. If it's trash, I'll just throw it away.
Yes, I understand already.
I'm currently experiencing postpartum depression, so I really don't want to see anyone from my in-laws right now. Please don't contact me.
What? Are you really okay with that? I mean, is it really fine to shut everyone out like that?
I'm fine, but it would be incredibly annoying if they just showed up at my house unannounced, so please don't come over, okay? Well, that's really all I wanted to say.
I see, but I can't help but worry a little. I mean, I've only been able to see the baby once so far. I mean, it seems like my mother is trying her best not to bring it up too much, but I think she would appreciate having more opportunities to spend time with her grandchild. Once things settle down a bit, it would be nice if we could all meet up again.
I'll think about it. Right now, my parents are completely focused on taking care of the baby, and I don't want to impose any more than necessary.
Oh, I understand. If you ever need help, just let us know. We're more than willing to come by and lend a hand if you need it.
Honestly, I'd prefer if you didn't feel the need to do that. It's a really complicated situation right now, and I'm just exhausted from everything. It's like the English language is failing me, and I just don't want to deal with it anymore. It's all so overwhelming.
That's not what I meant at all. I also sent you a congratulatory gift for the baby the other day. Did you receive it? I thought it would be better not to ring the doorbell when I passed by your house, so I left it on your parking area instead.
I did receive your gift, but honestly, it looked so cheap. I ended up throwing it all in the trash. Seriously, I need something better than that.
What? Are you serious? You threw it all away?
Of course. What's with the handmade diaper tower? It's so tacky that I couldn't stop laughing. It's been ages since I've laughed like that, especially after giving birth.
Wait, I worked really hard with my mom to make that for you. And also, what about the $30,000 gift?
Huh? What do you mean by that?
Inside the diaper tower, I wrapped up the $30,000 gift from my mom and me. You did notice that, right?
What? No way. Are you serious?
That's exactly what I want to know. Did you really throw it away?
That's impossible. If that was the case, you should have mentioned it in the letter. This is the worst. Of course I threw it away.
Wow. Oh, this is unbelievable. It was even written in the letter I attached. You really did this.
Go get it back right now. I'm out right now. You know what? I'll contact my parents to go and get it.
Wait, you're out this late? I'm going to contact my brother right now. It would be faster if you reach out to him, right? I mean,
I know you need to tell your parents too, but still. No, wait, the gift was sent to me, right? That means I have to receive it. Huh? But it's also a good idea to let your brother know. I thought it was strange that I hadn't heard anything yet, so I asked you first. Oh, whatever. I'll just send my parents to get it. Seriously, please stop being so attached to your brother. I have enough on my plate right now, so this is all I can handle. Hey, wait a minute. Make sure you talk to my brother properly, okay? I don't want any misunderstandings. It's really important that you communicate everything clearly, especially now that you've had the baby. You don't want any issues arising from this, do you?
I found it! It was still there! I'm so relieved I found it in time. But seriously, she threw it out regardless of the garbage collection days or anything. What on earth is she thinking? This is such a hassle. I'm so sorry about this.
You found it? Oh, that's great. I'm really glad you contacted me right away. But wait, you were home taking care of the baby, right? Then why did you insist on calling your parents instead of me? It would have been much quicker to reach out to me.
I didn't want you to take my money. I knew if I told you, you'd just put it in the baby's savings account, and I wanted to use it all myself.
Oh, is that what it was? I figured something was off when I saw how you were acting.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think there's something you're hiding from me.
Hiding? Like what? By the way, are you out right now? Are you out having fun?
Yeah, it seems that way. She sometimes goes out like this. Before, she was staying with her parents taking care of the baby. I'm not entirely sure why, but ever since I started taking parental leave and stayed home with the baby, she's started going out alone now and then.
Oh, really? Well, the way you say that makes it sound like you've been thinking she might have been going out more when she was at your parents' place, right?
Yeah, there's a good chance of that. I don't think it's a bad thing to go out occasionally. Just because she's a mother doesn't mean she has to be glued to the baby all the time. I'm here, and so are her parents. We can all share the parenting responsibilities. Taking a breather is important too, I believe. But the issue is how she's spending her time out.
What do you mean by that?
She often comes home drunk in the morning after a night out. It seems she's been drinking with her friends from college. She comes home completely wasted and then just sleeps all day. I don't mind her going out, but she's a stay-at-home mom after all. I worry about what will happen when my parental leave ends. Will she be able to handle the housework properly again? It's a bit concerning.
Oh, I see. You guys had a bit of a rushed marriage, huh? So you didn't really know about her true nature before tying the knot?
Well, I guess that's about right. I think I fell into her trap more than I'd like to admit. We were supposed to be practicing safe sex, but then she ended up getting pregnant. I really don't mind because children are a blessing, but still. She got pregnant before we were married, and then she quit her job right away. It feels like I've been tricked, honestly.
Wow, so you were aware of that, huh? We all kind of thought the same thing. But if you're saying you're happy with it, then that's great, right? Mom and I talked about that too.
Is that so?
It's possible that with the baby finally here, she's just feeling overwhelmed with excitement and letting loose a bit too much.
Yeah, that could be it. So I've been doing a lot of the housework while she's out, you know? I've become quite good at cleaning. I honestly think the place is cleaner now than when she does it.
Well, kudos to you for that, but don't forget to thank your wife. After all, she's the one maintaining the home. Even if she's not great at housework, you still need to appreciate her for keeping your life running smoothly.
I get that, but, oh, Flora, I have a favor to ask you.
What is it?
Could you keep the fact that I found the $30,000 a secret from her?
Wait, why?
If she knows, I think she'd just blow it all on herself. She has this habit of spending money really fast. I mean, I get that going out drinking costs money, but if I give her cash, it might turn into a disaster. I want to save it for the baby's future. Also, I've been a bit concerned about something.
Really? What's been going on?
Well, I'll tell you once I'm sure about it, but there's a possibility that she might be betraying me.
What do you mean by that?
I have this gut feeling that she's hiding something from me, and I can't shake it off. She's been acting weird lately, and I can't quite put my finger on it.
You think she's being unfaithful?
I don't know yet. That's why I'm keeping an eye on things. It just feels like she's changed since the baby was born, you know? It's like she's become more carefree and distant. I understand that having a baby can change a person, but I can't help but feel suspicious about her late nights out.
Wow, that sounds intense. Have you talked to her about this at all?
I've tried, but she just brushes it off like I'm overreacting. She says I should trust her and that she's just having some time for herself. I want her to have her freedom, but I also think it's crucial for us to be honest with each other.
Yeah, for sure. Trust is key in a relationship. If you can't talk about these things, it's going to build up and cause bigger issues down the line.
Exactly, and I really don't want to jump to any conclusions, but my instincts are telling me something isn't right. I just wish I could get through to her and make her understand how serious this is for me.
Well, if you thought about sitting her down and having a heartfelt conversation when she's sober, sometimes people don't realize the impact of their actions until they really think about it.
I've been thinking about it, but every time I try to bring it up, she gets defensive and changes the subject. It's frustrating. I don't want to start a fight, but I need her to know how I feel.
I totally get that. Maybe if you approach it from a place of concern instead of accusation, she might be more open to listening.
That's a good point. I should focus on how I feel and not make her feel attacked. I'll try to find a calm moment to talk to her about it. Thanks for the advice.
Of course, just remember it's okay to express your feelings, but it's also important to be patient. Relationships take work, and sometimes things just need time to settle down.
Yeah, you're right. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks for being here for me, Flora. It means a lot.
Anytime. We're siblings, and I'll always have your back. Just keep me updated on how things go with her, okay?
Absolutely. I'll let you know what happens. Hopefully we can get this sorted out soon.
Yeah, I'm rooting for you. Just keep communication open, and I'm sure you'll find a way to work through it together. Flora, why did you lie? That $30,000, didn't Eric recover it? Why did you keep quiet about it? Oh, that issue? What? Did Eric finally say something to you? I hope you didn't make a scene or anything. This is the worst. If I had that money, none of this would have happened. It's completely unfair. What do you mean by none of this? My husband just said he wants a divorce. He's done with this marriage. But if we had that $30,000, this wouldn't have happened. I could have paid off our debts and fixed everything. Well, that was something you threw away, wasn't it? You should think of it as something that never existed in the first place. Also, those are not words you should say to someone who gave you $30,000. That's pretty rude, don't you think? Because! Why did you hide it in a diaper tower like some childish trick? You knew how important that money was. How rude. I thought you would enjoy it as a surprise. I didn't make the diaper tower with the expectation it would be thrown away. That would be silly. I genuinely wanted to create a fun moment for you. But you said you'd have my parents come pick it up, right? So why did you contact my brother instead? I thought it was strange from the beginning that you wanted to involve your parents. You should have just told me directly. Then I got a call from my brother and everything clicked. I never imagined you would go out drinking with your old circle members while secretly spending a fortune on a host. What were you thinking? Well, that's because it's not like I had a choice. I mean, it's my ultimate form of relaxation. It's my favorite idle activities. You can't just take that away from me. I'm not denying that relaxation or idle activities are important, but you need to do those things within a budget.
You can't just lie to your husband just to go out, and now you've ended up with all this debt. This is a serious issue. You wanted the $30,000 from the congratulatory money to pay off this debt, didn't you? Well, I needed money to support him. So it can't be helped. You don't understand how hard it is to be a mother and not have any outlet. If you need the money, then work and save it up to pay it off yourself. Don't rely on other people's money. And to think you wanted to use the $30,000 that was supposed to be a congratulatory gift. Is that really something a parent would do? It's irresponsible. Shut up! You say whatever you want as long as I stay quiet. If you had just given me the $30,000, this would have been resolved. But your brother found out about it first and deposited the entire amount into the child's savings. You're directing your resentment at the wrong target. If that's the case, then get the money from your parents to pay it off. They should help you out if they care about you. We've been poor for generations. That's why my parents were counting on my husband's income. And now I'm being told there's going to be a divorce? Take responsibility. This isn't fair. Shut up. Just stop already. I can't listen to this anymore. What did you just say? While you've been slacking off on parenting and wasting money drinking until the morning, your husband has been home alone doing everything. He's been desperately doing the housework and cleaning, and he found your IOU while doing so. He saw that paper hidden deep down and decided your spending habits were abnormal. So he hired a detective to gather all the evidence, didn't he? Wait, was it really that far gone? He hired a detective? Did you think no one knew? This is all the result of your own actions. Sure, there's no rule that says you can't have fun just because you're a mother. But while you were doing nothing, your brother was working tirelessly without rest. And while you were carelessly accumulating debt, he was growing tired from taking care of the child. And don't you dare blame your divorce on someone else just because you couldn't find the congratulatory money that was given to you. But if I had that $30,000, I could have paid back the money and none of this would have been a problem. If you had done that, you would have just gotten carried away and racked up even more debt. A person like you needs to experience pain firsthand to learn. It's the only way you'll understand the consequences of your actions. Wait, I get it. I won't go to the host anymore. I won't borrow money anymore. So please just help me this once. 30,000. No, even 20,000 would be fine. I'll be grateful for any amount you can spare. Look, we're not rich either. It's not an amount that just magically appears when you wish for it. We're also desperately gathering every penny to make ends meet. Just like you said, I don't have a boyfriend, nor am I planning to have children. Given the way things are going, the chances of me getting married and having kids are slim. So the money I spent was entrusted to your children's future. I don't want to waste it on your irresponsible choices. But if I get divorced like this, that child will be left without a father. Don't you see that? I need to be there for my child. What are you talking about? Of course the father will get custody. He's the responsible one. A debt-ridden woman who thoughtlessly tries to use her child's money while being a stay-at-home mom without a job is in no position to raise a child. You need to face the reality of your situation. That's true, but let me ask you this. Can you raise a child under these circumstances? You have to pay for your living expenses and child support, and now you'll also have to pay your husband alimony. How do you plan on doing that? Alimony? But I don't have that kind of money. How can I possibly afford that? Of course, that's impossible. You've had physical relationships with other men behind your husband's back multiple times. That's a serious betrayal, and you'll have to face the consequences. He has every right to demand alimony. Please, I am begging you, talk to Eric. I was a stay-at-home mom and I was happy. I can't work after a divorce. I don't know how to make it on my own. Don't act like a stay-at-home mom even when you can't handle basic household chores or childcare. Of course you were happy because you had the freedom to play, but you crossed the line. You can't just ignore your responsibilities. I'm sorry. I promise I'll never do this again. I'll be a proper mother. I've learned my lesson. So please, just this once, forgive me. If I can just pay back the debt, everything will be okay. Then pay what you owe and start over. Your trust is already sunk down there.
Don't think you can be forgiven with such light words. Reflect on your selfish actions and suffer in hell for the rest of your life, you worthless woman. You think it's that easy to just move on? Please, I'll change, I promise. I can't lose my child. I'll do anything. You don't get it, do you? Your words mean nothing now. You've lost the right to be trusted, and it'll take more than just promises to regain it. You have to face the consequences of your actions. Your husband deserves better, and so does your child. You need to take responsibility. I know I messed up, but please, I don't want to lose my family. Can't you see how hard this is for me? I didn't mean for any of this to happen. You think you can just brush everything under the rug because you're feeling sorry for yourself? It doesn't work that way. You need to be held accountable. You need to make real changes, not just empty promises. Show that you can be a responsible adult. I promise I'll get a job. I'll do anything. Just help me get through this, please. Talk is cheap. You need to prove it with actions. Your husband's at his limit and you're running out of time. If you want to turn things around, you better start showing real commitment to change and being a better mother. I will, I swear. Just give me one more chance. I'll show you I can do it. Make sure you mean it, or you'll find yourself in an even worse situation than you're in now. Remember, you're not just risking your own future, you're jeopardizing your child's as well. Please, I don't want to think about that. I just want to make things right. I want to fix this and be a good mother. Then start by being honest with yourself and those around you. No more lies, no more hiding. If you want a chance at redemption, you'll have to be willing to fight for it every single day. I understand. I really do. I'll just do whatever it takes. Just don't give up on me yet. Well, it's too late to ask for that now because every single one of us has given up on you now. I hope that you have fun rotting in hell for all that you've done to us. Goldie was reportedly devastated when my brother firmly informed her of the divorce, breaking down into tears. However, it seems that my brother had completely lost all feelings for her, leading to the divorce proceeding without any further hesitation. The emotional impact of such a revelation can be immense, especially when a relationship that once held promise crumbles so suddenly. Under the guidance of a private investigator who advised him to be thorough, my brother had secretly installed hidden cameras during their discussions. This allowed him to capture the moments when Goldie, consumed by anger and frustration, attempted to lash out at their child. The recordings became crucial evidence in the divorce proceedings, revealing the true nature of her behavior when confronted. It's chilling to think about how a moment of anger can lead to such devastating consequences, not just for Goldie, but for the child caught in the middle. Following the divorce, Goldie lost her rights to see her child, and she would never be around to meet them again. The emotional toll of the situation must have been immense for her, but at the same time, it feels almost like poetic justice, considering her previous actions. The loss of her child would be a permanent scar on her heart, serving as a constant reminder of her decisions and their fallout. Now, buried with debt, alimony, and the necessity of earning a living, Goldie reluctantly found part-time work. Every day she struggles to make ends meet, and honestly, it's hard not to feel a sense of schadenfreude in this situation. Her previous lifestyle, filled with careless spending and reckless choices, has turned into a harsh reality. She now has to wake up early each morning, facing the drudgery of her new life. Each day serves as a reminder of what she lost, and it must be excruciating to see the stark contrast between her former life and her current one. She once enjoyed a life of leisure, filled with social outings and extravagant expenses, and now she is scraping by, barely able to pay her bills. The transformation from a life of luxury to one of financial strain illustrates the consequences of her actions. Goldie's transition from the carefree existence to the struggles of a working single mother highlights the impact of her previous choices. In the past, she may have taken her brother's support for granted, believing that she could continue living her life without consequences. But now, reality's hit hard, and every hour she spends at her part-time job serves as a reminder of the choices she's made and their repercussions. My brother, on the other hand, seems to be moving on with his life. Free from the chaos and drama that Goldie brought into his life, he can focus on his child without the burdens that Goldie represented. This newfound freedom must feel like a weight lifted off his shoulders, allowing him to finally breathe and find joy in parenting, without the stress of an unstable partnership.
The contrast between their current situations could not be more stark, as Goldie finds herself in a self-imposed prison of regret while her brother flourishes. Goldie's current situation also forces her to reflect on her priorities and the choices that led her to this point. The debt that she accrued, possibly to fund her previous lifestyle, now looms over her like a dark cloud. Every moment spent at work is not just about earning a paycheck, it's about trying to repay her past mistakes and the consequences of her actions. The pressure to make ends meet while managing her financial obligations is a daily burden that weighs heavily on her shoulders. She may find herself daydreaming about what could have been, contemplating how different things might be if she had made better choices. The longing to see her child again might haunt her, knowing that her actions directly led to her current circumstances. The realization of what she lost may bring moments of deep sadness and regret, forcing her to confront the gravity of her decisions. As she navigates her new life, Goldie will likely encounter challenges that push her to her limits. Balancing work and life without the support she once had will be a daunting task. She might have to rely on friends or acquaintances for help, something that she may not have been used to before. This reliance on others could bring about feelings of vulnerability and insecurity as she comes to terms with her new reality. Her interactions with others will also change. She may find it difficult to relate to those who still live the life she once had. The envy and resentment she might feel towards them could lead to feelings of isolation. She may struggle to connect with those who don't understand her plight, further exasperating her sense of loss and grief over what she used to have. In the midst of this struggle, there may be moments of clarity for Goldie. These moments might help her realize the true cost of her decisions and the importance of responsibility and accountability. She might begin to understand the value of hard work, the importance of financial stability, and the love that comes with being a parent, something she took for granted. Eventually, Goldie may find a way to rebuild her life, whether it's through new friendships, personal growth, or professional development. She may start to carve out a new identity separate from the mistakes of her past. This journey towards self-improvement could be transformative, allowing her to redefine her purpose and goals in life. Yet the scars of her past will remain, serving as constant reminders of what she lost and what she must overcome. Her journey towards redemption may be long and arduous, filled with obstacles and setbacks, but it will also provide opportunities for growth and learning. Goldie's story serves as a cautionary tale about the consequences of neglecting one's responsibilities, illustrating that one's choices can profoundly affect the lives of those around them. It highlights the importance of being accountable for one's actions and the impact those actions can have on family and relationships. In the end, Goldie's path to recovery may lead her to a deeper understanding of herself, her values, and the importance of cherishing her family.
All right, get to work, get to work. I'll be watching you with hawk eyes this whole time, okay? I am not in the mood to tell you that again, as your one job as the younger wife in this house is to get all the chores done, even while everyone else is here.
Get to work? But there's nothing left for me to do now. I've cleaned up all the dishes, and there isn't anything else to vacuum now. I've gone through all the house and wiped down all the tables, and have gone up to every window and sprayed them and cleaned them in order to let the most light through them. I went and swept the stairs for you, as well as cleaned the kitchen floor and took out all the trash.
Have you gotten around to doing the laundry and all of that?
I finished with the laundry a little while ago. You can even see that everything is all folded up and put into our rooms to be placed away later. And I made sure to change the sheets on the sofa as well. So at this point, there is really nothing left for me to clean or do for you. I can't even think of another thing I could work on that would make any sense at this point.
Are you sure that's how you want to end things? All of the family will be coming here really soon, and you have to make a name for yourself by making this place look spectacularly clean. If there's one thing that they spot and comment on, I'm going to make sure you take responsibility for it. Will you be able to do that? It'll be a lot of pressure, and a lot of these people are much more strict than even I am.
Then can you go around and do a quick look over for me to see if there's anything I missed? That way we can both be on the same page about the cleanliness here and I won't have to be too worried anymore.
Huh? Does that mean you're not going to be able to take responsibility for yourself? That's what it sounds like to me. Do you not have the confidence where you need me to come around and check everything for you? That is not my job to be doing. You should be more than capable of cleaning and doing chores in this house without having someone like me come around and spot check all your work.
All right. But this is how things always go with you, Jennifer. I ask you to check things for me first so that we can avoid conflicts later, but instead you don't bother to help by doing that, so at some point you can complain about me. It's not that I'm saying you want me to mess up on purpose, but it sure does seem like that way sometimes.
Then, if you don't want me to complain about you anymore, do a better job at cleaning what I've asked you to clean. If you can do that for me, then you might actually end up being a good wife for my son.
Are you serious?
I'll have you know that I've been to over 100 different kinds of high-end hotels and have always made comments about the cleanliness of them. So, if you can get me to not say a single word about your cleaning, then that means you are doing better than over 100 different hotels are. That should make you happy, right?
What? Over 100 different hotels. Complaining that much about all of their cleanliness just makes you look more like a stuck-up snob than anything else.
You're a real pain in my butt. I think I'm going to have to raise you again, since your parents seem to have failed at that. Unlike women nowadays, back when I was first becoming my husband's wife, my mother-in-law pushed me so hard to make sure that I'd be perfect at everything. And now, having to see this new generation of wives has left me shocked. I can't believe that all of you just want to sit around all day doing everything so sloppily around the home.
We aren't trying to sit around all day doing nothing, though. At least I'm not trying to.
I know you all are. I've seen it with my own eyes time and time again. Especially you, Morgan. So I'm going to break you down and rebuild you from the ground up, all right? So be ready. It will not be easy, and I'm going to be honest and say that you will cry even more now with me working on you than when you were a baby.
But listen, what's with you putting up that camera in the living room to watch over me all the time? That right there shows me that you're taking this way too far. You're trying to make it really hard for me to have any time to take a break and relax.
You have no right to be allowed a break time in this house. When you are here, you have to work every second of the day, making sure the place is spotless and smells like nothing besides detergent. You will not stop working. I'll make sure of it, you useless woman.
Useless woman.
Morgan, are you doing all right? I just realized that it looks like you've been working all day to clean. How about you take a moment to sit down and relax a little?
Selena. Thank you so much for asking about how I'm doing. But unfortunately for me, I'm not able to take any time off for a break. I was told that I'm a useless woman. And so if I stop doing the chores here, I'll be done for.
What are you talking about right now?
Well, there's a lot that's gone into it, so... But just be aware that for the time being, I can't take any breaks, as it would not end well for me. I'm happy to see that you've noticed me working a lot, but I'm afraid it's going to have to stay this way today.
Does this mean that Jennifer said something to you that's made you act like that? I know that woman well, and this all seems like something she'd do.
It was something she told me. She told me this is to help retrain me and that this was for my own good so that I can remain a part of this family.
I see. That woman sure is a thing for making sure everyone is the perfect wife for their husband. She's way too old, though, for her to not be embarrassed by the way she acts. Well, listen, Morgan, you don't have to worry about a word that woman says to you, and you can take as many breaks as you'd like.
What? Are you sure about that? But...
You've already put in so much work getting all this cleaning done, so it'd be wrong of us to continue to make you work into the afternoon. I'd like you to take a seat with all of us and talk about yourself a little. After all, everyone's come here today to relax and chat.
All right. Thank you so much for checking up on me. It really helps me out a bunch.
By the way, have you brought any of what's been going on here up with Isaiah? Told him about how Jennifer is trying to work you way too hard? I'm sure he'd have something to say to his own mother knowing what things she's done to you already.
Not yet. There hasn't been anything yet between her and I that would make me go to him about it yet. Also, Isaiah is in the middle of a couple of projects for work, so he doesn't have time to focus on this. And I don't want to get him all worried about what's going on here with his mom when he needs to be there.
You say that, but I feel as though he seems really worried about you and what you've been up to under the influence of your mother-in-law. I'm sure he realizes that something is up with you. So I really believe that you should bring this all up with him for once.
Of course. You are correct about what my Jennifer has been doing to me today, and that she has gone a little overboard with it. I will plan on bringing things up with him, or at least doing something that will really get his attention then.
Oh, is that right? I guess I didn't think you'd be willing to try and get his attention after saying you didn't want to disturb him. Well, that makes me feel a little better. I think that you'll be able to do all right then.
I think so too. So please, don't worry too much about me, and trust that I'll be able to handle all of this in one way or another. Go ahead and get back to chatting with everyone else now.
Thank you. I think I will then, but I'll make sure to watch and see how things go for you. You? Where the hell have you gone? Hurry up right now and get back here and get more work done. Plates are beginning to pile up in the sink.
I'm sorry, but I'm at the hospital right now.
Huh? The hospital? You're not some kind of nurse, right? You're a housewife that needs to stay in the home. Why did you think it was important of you to go to this hospital at a time like this?
Even if I'm not a nurse or anything like that, when I'm not doing well, I have the right to go to a hospital, correct? So, let me explain what's happened. I happened to bleed a ton when you hit me in the head with that dinner tray and have to go to the hospital to get myself checked out. Are you happy to have your explanation now?
Huh? Why would there ever be any blood coming out of your head? I barely even hit you.
Are you kidding? Take a look at the gosh dang sofa that I was sitting on, please. There's blood all over it still, right?
And that's evidence of why it's not okay for you to be sitting on any sofa at all, right? You are a housewife and have work left to do, so there's no way I was going to allow you to slack off.
What is so bad about me taking a second to sit on the sofa? And it's not even like I was sitting down in the same room as all the rest of the people, right?
A wife like you has no right to even a millisecond of sitting time. I already told you all of this before, right? Another thing, why were you showing all of the guests today to that other room in the house? It's because of you showing them to the room all the way on the other side of the house that they've made my job harder by being so far away from the kitchen.
I just assumed since that other room had a much more relaxed vibe to it, it'd be easier on everyone and they wouldn't have to continue sitting on that old couch in the living room.
Well, you made work on yourself only grow even more by doing something like that, right? I've had enough of this, so get your butt back to the house. I need you back here working right now.
Why are you being so strict with your son's wife like this?
I'm doing all of this for your sake, that's why. Back when I was your age, I had the same thing happen between myself and my mother-in-law, who worked me very hard.
Are you talking about Selena?
That's right. I was given the most strict upbringing by her that any wife has ever had on this planet. And that's why I'm going to make you work as hard as I was forced to.
So this is what all that hard work was about? It's because of your own past that you decided to hit me outside the head with a dinner tray and make me bleed?
Shut up. This all has to do with you always being a frickin' brat talking back to me like you have any say. You are worse than any other housewife I've known. Why did my sweet little boy have to end up marrying such a useless woman like you? Now get your butt back to this house. I'm going to make you work as all wives are supposed to.
I told you it's not going to happen now. I'm in the hospital at the moment to get my head taken care of. Also, why would I ever want to go back to some place where the person who assaulted me is at?
You think that I assaulted you just then? Stop being so over-dramatic. I had to make sure to reset your brain after you thought it was a good idea to take a break while you were cleaning and catering to my friends and family. What the hell do you think you're doing going to a hospital after getting hit in the head with a simple tray? Well, now it's your turn, right? Huh? Hello, Jennifer. I had a good look at the moment you took that tray and swung it into Morgan's head a little bit ago. Oh, did you? But that's just the way I chose to handle things. I'm not going to listen to anything more from her about being such a victim to my way of treating her.
So just understand that, please. All right, then. Well, I wasn't going to say anything about it anyway. Now, the next time we're all coming over will be in 2 weeks, right? I'll see you all again then. Wait, what are you doing? Why do you think you have to punch me now? You want to know why? Because you decided to sit down with the rest of us when you are the wife of this house. I'm the wife, but from my point of view, you are a younger wife than me in this house, therefore you don't get to have any time to take any breaks. You have to work all the time to clean the place up and serve everyone, right? And so far you've only shown that you're a useless woman. So tell me why you thought it was a good idea to sit on the sofa like that? Oh, wait, that's because... Are you going to try and tell me that punching you would be taking things too far? That's pretty bold of you to say when just a couple of weeks ago you sent your daughter-in-law to the hospital after hitting her in the head with a dinner tray. Well, I didn't do that in front of everyone. I made sure to do that in a place where none of you guys could see it happen. And that's because you knew if you did something as ridiculous as that in front of everyone else, they'd have some awful things to say about you, right? Well, that's right, right? After all, you did hit her in the head with a darn dinner tray. And you know that no matter what reason you may have had for that, the rest of us would not forgive you for it, right? You have no right to be saying things like this about me. And here we go again with that horrible attitude of yours. You really have me thinking once again about your actions. It's like you're back to that same old toxic woman from back in the day. Shut up! You were the one that treated me like crap when you started to train me to be a good wife. You wanted to make sure that a young wife like me back then would be perfect, and that's why you treated me so poorly at the house. I'm not going to let you say you forgot about all of that. So you are trying to say that the reason you're treating Morgan so poorly is because that's the way you were treated by your mother-in-law back in the day? That's exactly right. That's a fact. Well, I don't ever remember treating in any way what was unfair or justified back then. I only happened to tell you that you were making mistakes and that you were wrong from a mother's perspective. Nope, you absolutely did not do that. You tried to abuse me back then in order to do everything you'd ask of me. It's probably because of all that stress you had that you'd pick fights with me and bully me. Well, you would go out and spend the family credit card on things that were only meant for yourself and without anyone's permission. And you'd use your husband's company's money to take yourself to all kinds of high-end hotels for weeks, right? You were one of the worst wives ever back then. This has nothing to do with what's going on right now. I think it has every bit of a connection to what's been going on here. You happened to go against everything the family asked you to stop doing back then. What you were doing was laced with problems, and it had to stop. That's the reason for everything that happened after, right? Have you still not come around to accepting that yet? Ugh! You're so annoying! I was still young back then, so stop trying to put all the blame on me for what happened back then. And Morgan is the same age now, just about, that you were back when that was all going on, right? I can't do this anymore. I told you to shut up because you're being so annoying right now. An old witch like you needs to shut the hell up already. Ugh. Jesus Christ. You've fallen right back to where you started. You don't think that you can get away with things now just because you've become friends with that old witch. I promise you I'll destroy that old witch if that's what you really want to see, and then I'll have you trapped with nowhere left to run.
Destroy her.
I mean exactly what I said there. Did you know that she hit me in the head with a tray as well now? And she did that in front of all the family and friends that were gathered here. So I will take her to court and sue her butt.
What? But Jennifer, you did the exact same thing to me a little while back, right? Do you think it's okay that you're the only one allowed to do things like that?
I was doing it as a way to get you to stop messing around, but that old witch only did it as a way of picking on me in front of everyone.
Your way of getting me to stop? I'm sorry, but that's not the way I saw it when you hit me so hard you lacerated my head! So if you really are going to be suing Selena over this, then I'm going to sue you for hitting me in the head!
Excuse me, what the hell are you talking about?
Hold on, you've been talking about this the whole time, right?
Well, listen, miss. Do you even have evidence of me hitting you in the head with any dinner tray?
Are you kidding me?
I never hit you in the head with anything, not even a dinner tray. Selena may be saying that she saw something like that happen, but in her old age, I'm sure her eyes are not 20/20, right?
I can't believe this. It's like you're not even human anymore, that's how screwed up your head is. Not only are you just an awful mother-in-law, but at this point, I think you're better off being locked up in some asylum for the way you're behaving.
Ah, are you trying to make fun of me now? I'll take you to court as well over something like that.
I'm sure you may have forgotten this, but the room you hit me in the head with that dinner tray in happens to be the same room you installed that camera in to watch me. So, that night when I came back to the house, I went and saved all the recordings on that camera to my phone. And so, the evidence of you hitting me really hard over the head with that dinner tray, and all the blood that came out of me after, is saved on my phone.
So that's why you had all those people at the time moved over into the other room to relax for a bit.
That's right. I was thinking it'd be the best place to do it since you probably wanted to keep all your actions a secret from everyone else. However, I never thought you'd end up assaulting me in any way when I chose to take a small break on the sofa.
Then what about the place that Selena ended up hitting me in the head at?
You had that happen to you back in that other room, where there is no camera installed at. Jennifer, you keep talking about how someone like Selena hit you in the head the same way as you hit me, but are you sure something like that really took place?
You'd better stop messing around. Well, it's all going to be okay. There may be no video evidence, but there were a ton of other bystanders in the room at the time that witnessed what happened to me. I'll ask them all to come and help me, and then I'll have the two of you ruined for the rest of your lives.
And I hope that all goes well for you.
Hey, you! What the hell have you said to Isaiah about this? Also, when it comes to my husband, did you say something to him as well?
What do you think I said to them?
I am not here to play games with your stupid butt anymore. I was told by my son just a little bit ago that he wants to cut ties to me forever.
Well, that just happens to be because someone like him does not like the fact that you treated his wife horribly and even hit her in the head with a tray, sending her into the hospital, right? You can relax now because I didn't do or say anything to him that would make him want this.
Stop it with all your bullcrap. Then tell me about my husband then. My husband is asking to get a divorce from me now after what you've done.
And I'd like to think that it's for the same reason as Isaiah had. I believe that your husband was on his last leg with you, and what you did to me was the last straw and made him want to jump ship. Jennifer, I understand that you were going to look for people to back you up over this, but it seems everyone just wants to cut ties with you. Well, that's only natural of all of them. You've been a total jackass this entire time.
What? No matter what you say, this is all your fault. I was just trying to fix you because you were a terrible wife and woman, yet now everyone is trying to leave me. Why me? The only terrible wife in this family is you, Jennifer. You? What do you want from me, you old witch? Look at that. The moment people start to do and say things you don't like, you begin to call them bad names like old witch. You are the one that did many things wrong and are being punished for them, but are too self-centered to even take a moment to reflect on that. I can't believe it, though. You haven't changed one bit from the monster you were in the past. I am speechless. You are always trying to act like you're better than everyone else. Do you think you're the perfect woman? Sure. I'm not perfect, but I sure am better than you. I happen to not be the one with fingers pointed at her for picking on and assaulting her daughter-in-law. Shut up! You have heard about how my son will be divorcing you now, right? In other words, that means you and I will never have to talk to one another ever again. Thank you for what little you offered. Goodbye forever now. What is this? You came all the way out to contacting me just to say something as BS as that? If anything, you're the one with far worse heart than me. Right. After all, I was so bad that you would start calling me an old witch again. Well, I hate being called something like that, and that's why I'm really pissed off with you now. And that is the reason why I will not make things easy for you, and I will make sure that when this is all said and done, you will no longer be able to touch my family ever again. And will go rot in hell with the rest of this world's evil. Ugh! I've had enough with you all messing around with me. So with that, goodbye forever.
Jennifer, can you please stop walking all over outside my house like that? We have all cut ties to you already, so you need to give up and go away.
Why, Morgan? That house is the place I've been living in for the past 30 years. I'm asking you to please forgive me. Please just let me back into your lives.
This was not the choice I ended up making, Jennifer. You are the one that lost your husband after he divorced you, and so there's nothing I can do to help get things back to the way they were. Just go back to your parents' house or something to live the rest of your life.
I don't want to, though. I want to be back living in that house with you. I will apologize for everything I did to you, so please forgive me. I'm asking you to please help me.
It's not going to happen now. And there's nothing I can do to help you after all the trouble you started. Now, if you are going to continue standing outside our house all day causing us trouble, I'm going to have to call the police and have them take you away.
No! Please don't call the police on me now. I won't do anything to you guys, all right? Okay? I'll go away soon.
Wait, Jennifer? Have you done something bad that might get the police to take interest in you?
No, I haven't done anything wrong. I just don't want to deal with the police right now. They scare me, that's why.
Well, I understand there being people that get nervous when they see the police. It's just a natural thing, but... Jennifer, if you've done something wrong that they might be after you for, you should just turn yourself in and confess to it.
I told you I haven't done anything wrong, though, so you don't have to worry about me. So, with that being said, let me ask you this. Do you think you'll ever be able to forgive me?
Asking me to forgive you? Well, based on what the rest of the family is saying about you, I'd rather not have anything to do with you anymore. So please just understand that and go!
But what if I do seriously change my ways this time and make sure to treat you very well?
The problem is, no matter how many times you try and change yourself to get us to take you back, you'll just start being a complete witch again. After all, you complained to over 100 different high-end hotels about their service and cleanliness. So I'm sure you'll never stop complaining, right? After that, I went ahead and blocked my mother-in-law's phone number, and since then I haven't heard a thing from her. However, she continued to come by our house quite often to take a look at us and what we were up to. So I had the police called on her, and since then I've never had to see her around our house anymore. I am a little bit worried that she has been up to something no good, and that's why she was so nervous about having the police called on her. But as I was watching the news, wondering about what happened to her, a story came on about how she had been arrested by them. And the reason she was arrested was for purse snatching. She seemed to have been taking all kinds of things out of people's purses and would sell them to pawn shops for quick money. That wasn't all, though. She had also had an expired driver's license while driving her car around town, which only added to her problems. I really have no idea why things ended up this badly for her and why she chose to do things that were illegal in the end. But it made me laugh seeing her be arrested for that. After being arrested and taken to court, she was forced to pay a huge settlement to all the victims of her purse-snatching antics, as well as a fine for driving with an expired license. At that point, it seemed that Jennifer had truly been defeated as she had lost all her money. And so she left town and went back to her hometown looking for help. As of right now, she's at her older sister's house living with her and her husband, and hasn't done anything to get herself into any more trouble since. I really hope that something like that means she is finally settling down and will finally change her ways of being a witch into someone people can actually love. However, only a month after moving in with her sister, things only got worse as she began to start selling things of her sister's at the pawn shop. And when her sister caught on, her sister's husband went and forced Jennifer out of the house. Jennifer had tried to plead for them to let her back in because at the time she was forced out in only her bathrobe. But they knew better than to do that and called the police on her once again. This time, however, when she was taken into custody, they didn't go as easy on her when she had to go to court and was sentenced to 6 months in jail for theft, which caused her to bawl her eyes out. I guess she really didn't even learn after one time dealing with the law. So hopefully a second time and time spent in a jail cell will put her right. Because if not, she might just end up having to live there for the rest of her life. If not, kill her for messing with the wrong people next time. As for my family and I, ever since Jennifer was kicked out of this house, things have become a lot more peaceful for me. And right now, I'm living in a much more relaxed life as a housewife with my husband and my father-in-law. And when it comes to Selena, I'm forever grateful that she helped me fight Jennifer when I had had enough of her. I like to still have her over with the rest of the family and friends quite often still, as a way of thanking her. However, these times I don't force myself to work a ton and instead have a seat with all of them every once